All right. Hello, knockouts. Tonya Tko here. And I'm disgusted right now. I just had to come and go live because I just, oh, all right. So, in the state of Georgia, they've passed this thing called the heartbeat bill. And I'm going to open up the phone lines for you all to have a conversation about where this country is going. And wait, Kentucky as well? Hold on. You know what? These are things that I did not know. I'm turning the phone lines on right now. So the number is 646-45. No, 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 no. I'm going crazy. Hold on. Hold on. All right. So the Bluetooth is connected. Somebody says, I thought you were done. This must have been a person who's watching an old video. We are in the year 2019. All right, so Purple, Owen, come on, listen, Marie, the phone lines are open. And the number is 323-488-3149. All right. So yeah, so Farah, welcome, welcome, welcome. I need to talk with some people. I just found out about this today. It just happened yesterday. So I was trying to find somebody who could come on and talk to us about what it is that we can do, or what can people in Georgia do. One of the things that I know that you can do is contact your representatives, speak up, let your voice be heard. This was the state, if you all remember, this was the state where Stacey Abrams, the African American woman with the little twists in her hair, where she was going up against the guy who was practicing all of that voter fraud. Remember, they had ballots hidden places. The guy who was running for governor was the one who was controlling the board of elections, because he did not step down from his job from the board of elections, and it was just a big mess. So the phone lines are open. I want to hear from you all because I don't live in the state of Georgia. I did at one time. And when I lived in the state of Georgia, they were still flying the they were flying the Confederate flag as the state flag. So they had Old Glory, or whatever the hell that thing is called. They had the Confederate flag as a part of the state flag. There were some tremendous issues that were going on. It was like you were in a modern city, but there were some parts of it that were very questionable. So Nisi is saying, get a glass. Now I have a glass, don't you see? And a very big one at that. And so every time I drink this drink on camera, you all always ask what it is. It's my diffused fruit vinaigrade. And I have the recipe up inside my videos. Just look for the word vinaigrade, okay? Okay, first phone call is coming in. You are on live with Tonya. What's your name?
This is Purple Sunflower.
Say it again.
This is Purple Sunflower.
Okay, hi Purple. Listen, are you in the state of Georgia?
I'm in Florida.
All right, what are your thoughts?
It's concerning. I think that is all bad. Um, Maybe I'm biased because I'm pro-choice, but I don't think that the government or federal officials and laws should be stepping in and taking that option away from people, because that is going to be bad. People are going to go back to doing illegal things, hurting themselves, potentially putting themselves at risk for infection, death, anything like that. And you're not helping the situation. I think maybe they think that they're helping to it make people not use abortion as a primary form of birth control, but it is a form of birth control, and there are several different reasons why you would have an abortion. But if you're banning it, and so now you're saying that, something happened, this is what you would like to do, but it's illegal for you to do it, people are still gonna find a way to get around that, and that's gonna be bad. I don't feel that that's helping anything or anybody.
Okay. You sincerely think in your heart of hearts that they think that they're helping? Do you really think that they think that they're helping?
Yes, that's what they're trying to portray to people that they're helping, but really there is something else going on that doesn't help the main people that's going to be involved with it. I don't know if I'm making sense, but like the whole Planned Parenthood thing and all of that, like that's not to help and benefit black women. Uh, and I could even go so far to say women in general. That's not what that's about.
What? Planned Parenthood is not to help women?
As far as if you need birth control, if you want a reference to have an abortion, no, they're not helping you with that. They're
They
not helping you. Go
have
ahead.
you have you been to Planned Parenthood?
I have in the past.
And they didn't help you get birth control?
Yes, they did help me get birth control, but I'm saying if they're banning abortion
Oh,
and you're going for assistance with something like what are they doing? I don't see
okay.
where they help anybody.
Oh, well, okay.
And
Well,
you can't just say not, and you can't just say not have sex or you know, because sometimes even with birth control, when you're using a condom, whether you're on a shot, an IUD, like things fail. It's not 100%.
okay. Well, you know what? Sunflower, you said purple sunflower, right?
Yes.
All right. Well, thank you for your point of view. Thank you for calling in.
Tell some Georgian people to call, and I don't even think they know that that happened because I didn't know until I just saw your video post. So um, I don't even think people know that that's happening there. But I love to hear what some people in Georgia think.
Well, you know what?
I don't
You
think it's a great idea
listen.
though.
You in the dirty, dirty too. So if it happened in
Uh
Georgia,
huh.
they coming for your state
It's
next,
called
honey.
timing,
Because they've tried
right?
they tried it in Mississippi and they tried it in some surrounding states. So you know what? I'm going to read an article by CNN so that we can all get up to speed so that we can all know what's going on. So thank you for letting me know that you did not know that that happened. I thought I was old with the news. So cuz this
Mm-mm.
happened yesterday and I just found out today. And so yeah, so
None, and that's not being talked about anywhere.
oh no,
I
no. Oh no, it's not, but I
Nobody's
know.
talking about it.
But I know which vlogger got an arrest warrant and all this. I know all of that. But listen,
Right, all that silliness. Yes, I do too. Yes.
you know what? Listen, let me get off the phone with you so I can read this article. Okay, Mama, keep your head
Okay.
up. All
Okay.
right.
Bye bye.
All right. All right, here we go. Let me read this article by CNN. So, this is what it says. The so called heartbeat abortion bill won final approval Friday in the Georgia General Assembly and was sent to the governor, who is expected to sign the controversial measure. The Republican majority House voted in favor of House Bill 481, called the Living Infants Fairness and Equality Act, um, says Caleb McCullen, who is the director of communications for House Speaker David Ralston. Okay? The bill was approved 92 to 78. Governor Brian Kemp, who is a Republican, supports the legislation and is expected to sign it. Now, you all remember Kemp is the guy who was going against Stacey Abrams, and he was the one who was practicing all of that voter fraud inside of Georgia during the primaries, during the election that we had that just passed. Can you all hear me? Because I feel like there's a little bit of a delay. Let me know if we're having some issues with the connection. All right. So, so, so this is what Governor Kemp says. Georgia values life. We stand up for the innocent and speak for those who cannot speak for themselves. The legislature's bold action reaffirms our priorities and who we are as a state. I thank these lawmakers for their leadership and applaud their undeniable courage. So that's what Kemp tweeted, right? The legislation would ban abortions after a fetal heartbeat is detected as early as 6 weeks into pregnancy, and many women don't know they are pregnant at that point. At present, women are allowed to undergo the procedure up until their 20th week of pregnancy, right? And so Governor Brian Kemp also states in a tweet, "Let's champion life today and ensure that all Georgians, including the unborn, have the chance to live, grow, and prosper." Right? So then it goes on, right? This is unbelievable. This is unbelievable. No, this is a quote. "No abortion is authorized or shall be performed if the unborn child has been determined to have a human heartbeat," the bill states, "unless the pregnancy risks the life or poses substantial and irreversible harm to the pregnant woman." The bill's author, who is Representative Ed Setzler. You know what? We're gonna continue forward with this. This is a lot to take in so far, so we're gonna pick it back up right there. What are your thoughts on this? It passed. What was it? 92 to 78. And so Stacey Abrams is against it. Listen, there's some people who are like, they don't believe in abortion. If you don't want to have an abortion, don't have one. However, imposing your views on other people who may be going through any number of things. And so one of the things that I want to point out in his comment is, he says he wants to have all Georgians, including the unborn, to have the chance to live, grow, and prosper. But are we living, growing, and prospering in this country? If there is a person who knows that she does not want to give birth, is she prospering? Is she going to prosper being forced to bring a life into this world that she was not prepared to do for any number of reasons that are specific to each situation? So the phone lines are open, 323-488-3149. I want someone to copy and paste that telephone number so that other people will have it in the chat area. So it's 323-488-3149. And yes, this did just happen. This is happening as we speak. So the governor is for this bill. So he is said to be going to pass this bill. So let's go forward in reading this until a caller calls in, right? The bill's author, Republican Ed Setzler, said that abortion is a barbaric procedure and many other options exist for women, including adoption and the morning after pill, right? The morning after pill is, one, not 100% effective. Two, the morning after pill decreases with every hour that passes after you come into contact with seminal fluid, right? It also does not work. The likelihood of it working also is vastly decreased if you are over, I believe it's 175 pounds for a woman. And so there are other there listen, there are other factors that contribute to whether or not the morning after pill will work or not, right? So we're going to take this call. I'm about to put someone in timeout right there. Let me grab this call. You are on live with Tonya. What's your
Hi
name?
there, Miss Tonya. How are you?
I'm fine, thanks. What's your name?
My name's Lori,
Hi,
and I'm
Lori.
in Virginia. How are you? I am
Hi.
so amazed. I'm just, I don't know what to say now. I've had all my children, and this didn't even really apply to me, but I still feel like women should have the say-so with what happens to their lives. What about all of these children that are in the actual foster system or in the homes that are unwanted and are abused, sometimes even killed? And is that Republican representative that you so wonderfully imitated going to take care of them? Is he going to replace them with families that want these perfect children?
Oh, so that's the thing, right? Black children are less desired than other children. Newborns
Yes.
are most desired than children who have been here for a little while longer. And there are far too many children already in the system who won't be adopted. But let's be honest. Do you think that a ban on abortion is really about getting more children to become adopted? Now, I don't know how many of us in here read the book Freakonomics. Put up a one if you read the book Freakonomics. Did you read the book Freakonomics?
I wish I had, but I will.
Okay, so in the book Freakonomics, it was talking about how crime has gone down vastly over the decades. And one of the things that sharply decreased crime was the passing of Roe versus Wade in 1967, I believe it was. And so, um, I'm sorry. Are there people who need to be banned in here? Please don't try to sell your product while we're on live. Go someplace else and do that, or you're gonna lose your commenting privileges. So so crime went down severely and drastically when abortions were allowed because people who were not able to take care of children, people who did not want to have children, people who were going to bring children into an environment that was going to make them more likely to become a product of the system were now able to get abortions and stop children that they knew that they did not want from coming into the world, and that severely reduced crime. So that was one of the points that was brought up in the book Freakonomics, and I was and I was stunned when I read that, but it makes a lot of sense. What are your thoughts on that?
My thoughts are now, if the crime rate is going down, how come there's a even more disproportionate amount of black, Latino, or men in the prisons now? It's rising. So how is crime going down? Is it going down just for the people they want it to go down for, or is it going down for everyone because there are more colored people, so to speak, in the jail systems now than ever, in the
Well,
male at that?
okay, okay, I'm sorry. Violent crime went down. Instead, what they decided to do was to criminalize other things. So
Okay,
they decided to criminalize one, they decided to criminalize marijuana. First of all, it was called cannabis, and they created the name marijuana so that it could sound more Latino, right?
that makes
Then
sense.
they started giving longer sentences to people. And then remember that the crack epidemic happened, and you would get a
Right,
longer sentence for crack than you would for cocaine. Also,
right,
if you had marijuana, you were three times more likely as a black. So listen, across the board, people enjoy cannabis at the same rate. Black, white, Latino, everybody enjoys
sure,
cannabis at the same rate, right? However,
right,
if you were a person of color, you were exponentially more likely to be locked up for having a small amount of cannabis on you. So instead of the cops saying, "Oh, go ahead, son, go ahead. Just don't let us catch you again." You know,
right,
they would send those people on, and if
yeah.
you were black, they would send you to jail. So personally, I'm going to give my point of view, but thank you so much for calling in, okay?
Thank you, Miss Tanya. You're gorgeous today. Absolutely.
Oh, thank you. I'm trying something new. Thank you. Thank you.
Well, it is working. You have a beautiful day.
You too. You too. Bye-bye.
Thanks. Bye bye.
So this is one of the things that I believe is happening. How many of you out there have heard of the preschool to prison pipeline? Now, and how many of you, you know what? A friend of mine who is starting a business, listen to this craziness now. Listen to this craziness. A friend of mine who is starting a business decided to call, and he happens to be in Georgia. He decided to start making some phone calls because he needed inexpensive labor because he's starting his business. He doesn't really have that much money, and he was able to make just one or two phone calls. Hold on for just one moment, okay?
Okay.
He was able to make just one or two phone calls and he was able to get through to the jail system in Georgia. And as a result, he was able to find out that him as a small business owner, that he could put a contract into the prison system, into the private prison systems to be able to get very cheap, inexpensive labor for his small business. We're not even talking about a big business. We're talking about a guy with a small business. So he was able to find out that he can put a contract in. So personally, what I think it's about, I think it's about prison labor, because if you know that abortion lowers crime and you know that now we're starting to legalize marijuana or cannabis, what's going to happen? You're going to start losing, because 75, from the number that I heard in some, you can correct me if I'm wrong, 75% of the people who are in prison right now are currently serving for non-violent drug offenses. So thank you for holding, caller. What's your name?
The name is Christian.
Christian?
Yes, Christian. Yes.
Okay, Christian, talk to us. What are your thoughts?
All right. So I'm living in like one of the suburbs of Atlanta, so in Georgia,
Okay.
and I'm definitely like disappointed in that measure that is being approved.
Can you turn on your
Um,
computer, please? Because I'm hearing feedback.
sure. Sorry about that. So I just want to say that this is creating second zone citizens in the U.S.
Mm-hmm.
because it is a question of which state you will live in now that will see what type of rights you have access to.
Yes.
And the second point that I don't see them creating the good environment that will actually reduce the need for abortion, which is like less shaming of women who have like pregnancies, more support, giving maternal leave. I don't
Yes.
see all of these measures being pushed before to really create incentives
Hold
for
on. They're saying
comfort.
that they can't hear you. Can you speak up? I'm going to turn
Okay.
up the volume on the Bluetooth. Hold on. But speak
Okay.
up, okay?
Okay. So I'm just saying that I don't see them creating the conditions for women to follow through and be comfortable with and plan pregnancies. Even for women who plan pregnancies, the environment is not supportive. So this is for me. This is creating like second zone citizens in the U.S. and also basically sabotaging women's rights and
Okay.
also very yeah and really not addressing the need for support for pregnant women for mothers.
Okay.
So this is basically like my whole issue with it.
Okay. Well, you know what, Christian? I appreciate
Mm-hmm.
you. I appreciate you calling in and giving your point of view.
All
All
right.
right. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So basically, what Christiane was saying is that she believes that something like this is creating second class citizens in the United States, because the same people who are passing this bill are not offering any assistance to the women who may need assistance. She said that they're not giving maternity leave, they're not helping with daycare, they're not assisting. So it's like they want to force you to bring the children into the world, but then you don't get any assistance. I was watching this documentary, but I forgot the country. I believe it was Denmark or Sweden, but please correct me if I'm wrong. And in this country, they have communities. They have whole buildings and communities for single mothers. And inside the communities, they cook like big, gigantic community meals. They help watch each other's children. And it's a wonderful experience where they have the support, and these houses are paid for by the government or heavily subsidized so that they could be able to afford them. However, here they just want to force you to bring the children into the world, and then after that, they criminalize the children, lock them up for not being able to. First of all, there's a lot of issues. There's a lot of issues that are going on, right? One of the biggest issues I would say is that the type of school that you go to in the United States. So there was a woman who was on trial charged for sending her child to a school outside of her district. So the more money you could pay in taxes, the better the school district is in the area that you live in. The less money you can afford to pay in taxes, the worse the school district is. So you have people who, and can somebody post and repost the phone number inside the room, right? So you are born into a poor district where your mother really couldn't, your parents really couldn't afford you. Then you have to go to a less than desirable school where you're then introduced to people who may be doing unsavory things inside of that school, participating in different types of violence, etc. Then you yourself learn how to become violent. You yourself then have to be violent. And then after that, they lock you up and they put you in jail. So it's like it all starts from, like we talked about with Freakonomics, how the existence of legalization of abortion has decreased the amount of crime. So it's like the Republicans don't really care that you can't take care of the child, right? And so Stacy Tyler is saying they're why kids being born, I can't really read what that the taxpayer has to pay for. I pay for their housing, their food. And the way that this person is spelling, I really doubt that she's really paying much of anything for somebody else. I don't really know what she's talking about. With grammar like that, honey, I don't know what type of employment it is that you're claiming that you have. I'm sorry. The phone lines are open. I would love to hear from a person who is for the bill. I want to hear what it is that you're talking, what it is that you feel about this. So the phone number is 323-488-3149. I I would love to hear from a person. Well, Stacy, maybe you can speak a lot better than you can spell. So why don't you call in? The phone number is 323-488-3149. I would love to hear from somebody who supports this measure. I personally, I personally, listen, we're going to have to deal with, how do I put this in the most politically correct way, right? We see how people treat children that they wanted to have. I don't even want to imagine how a person treats a child that they did not want to have and could not stop themselves from having. I don't even want to know how that child is going to be raised and what state of mind is the person who was forced to use her body as an incubator to give birth to that child. So it's like one way or another, we're going to have to deal with these unwanted children, whether it's beforehand or whether it's standing behind you at an ATM somewhere. So we're going to have to deal with them. And where would you rather? Where would you rather? So you are on the line with Tonya Tko. You're live. What is your name, caller?
My name is Mel.
Your name is Mel?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so what are your thoughts on Georgia now banning abortion?
Well, I'm from the state of Oklahoma.
Mm-hmm.
So, and hearing about it, I just truly believe that when the government gets involved in a person's personal life,
Yes.
and tries to say what you can and cannot do, to me, it's just kind of like, not only are you trying to, let's say, we have to pay taxes for everything.
Yes.
So you're in my life on that. So now you're trying to be in my personal life.
Yes.
When people have abortions, what people have to understand is that people can have abortions because it could be a medical issue.
Yes.
It could be something that's threatening their life. It could be a sexual abuse issue. It could be a lot of different issues. Not saying that that's what everybody chooses to do it for, but you have to give a person the right to decide. when you take away the rights of people to decide, now once again, you're trying to conform everybody to the way you are.
Yes.
And to me, that's a big problem. It's like we have so many children in the system. So if you force people to have children that may not want to have children, you're going to put more children in the system. There's
Yes.
more children are coming into the system that are going out of the system.
Well, I think that that's what they want. Yeah, I think that that's exactly what they want. I think they want more. I think they want more children in the system so that they can have more free labor inside of the prisons.
Right. Because you don't want, when a child is in the system and nobody adopts them, they get to a certain age, then they're set free.
Yes,
They know nothing outside of the system.
true.
So when they know nothing outside of the system and you put them out, now they have to go fend for themselves.
Yes,
So at that point, be it rob, steal, kill, you have someone else in prison.
yes, that's true.
And so the prison system continues to flourish and it continues to grow.
That's what
It's
they
just kind of
want.
like, right, it's just kind of like it takes me back to when slavery was around. Not that
Yes.
it's went anywhere, it's just different
Uh-huh.
now. But when slavery was around, you continue to have people in the field and in your house, and they was doing everything for you. You had to do nothing for yourself, and everything was done by the hands of someone else, which was black people. So when you set the black people free, gave them their freedom, you gave them nothing to take with them.
Okay.
They had to leave and make it on their own, however that may have been.
Okay, I see what you're saying. So kind of like release from the foster care system.
Right. They say pull yourself up by your bootstraps. Well, if you don't have boots and you don't have straps, you can't pull yourself up anyway.
Well, that was part of the design so that they could then round black people up and put them back in the chain gang. So it's all a part of the
Right.
process.
It's a process to go backwards, not forwards. And when people don't realize that, and what really bothers me the most, I'm an older black female, okay? And what bothers me the most is that we don't look at it for what it really is. We want to say it's like the glass is half full and half empty. In this case, the glass is completely empty because they're deciding for you what you can do with your body. Because I look at it like this. Well, in that case, if you want women to stop having babies, make men have vasectomy. Why can't you control what a man does? But they're not going to.
Exactly.
So that's my opinion. That's my opinion. It irritates me. It takes me beyond the fact that women don't make as much as men anyway, and you want them to keep having babies. You don't want to give them food stamps. It's ridiculous to me. The government is just ridiculous to me. It's just somewhere else. And I stay somewhere. I just tell myself, don't worry about it. But I do worry about it because I know I have black female friends that are young that have to come up in today's society that it's ridiculous. It's just ridiculous.
Okay. Well, you know what? Thank you for giving your point of view. We appreciate that. You have a great rest of your day.
You do the same.
Okay. So she had some great points. The phone lines are open. I want to hear from someone who is pro taking away women's right to choose. Okay? And so so there are some people who were asking me whether or not I was pro murder, right? And I had to go get me an apple to nourish myself before I jump into this fight about whether or not I'm pro murder, right? So let me give you this example that I read on a blog somewhere, right? And so okay, give me just 1 second. So remember, I want to hear from a person who is pro taking away a woman's right to choose. All right, so here we go. Let's talk. So I'm going to give you all this example, right? Now, let's say you were out somewhere, right? and you were kidnapped. And when you woke up, you were connected to all of these machines, right? You were connected to all of these machines. And there was a man who was a very powerful person who would help the world in any number of ways, right? Who was using you as a human dialysis machine. So your body was used to cleanse his blood, and you were strapped to this machine, and his blood would run through your body, and your working functioning kidneys and livers would cleanse his blood, and then it would be put back into his body. Now so now, without you being connected to him, his life would cease, right? However, with you being connected to him, you don't really have autonomy over what it is that you can do or not do, etc. You have the choice to unplug yourself from this human being whose life is dependent on you being able to use your organs to supply the bloodstream for this man. Do you unplug so that you can live your life how you see fit? Do you unplug? So, are you pro murder? Are you pro unplugging? With you unplugging, this person would die. Are you pro that? And so that's the question. If a person's life is dependent on your system being able to keep that person alive, is that person truly alive if their life and livelihood is dependent on your biological functions? If you choose to unplug, is that murder to that person, or is that disconnecting a person who is not able to sustain life without you? Now, we're talking about a full grown human being, not a small one who is going to need raising and all of that other stuff. If this person's life, if their ability to live is solely dependent on your body's functions, is unplugging killing them, or is unplugging them allowing the inevitable to happen since they are not able to sustain life without you? That is the question. So, Annette, are you going to keep this person connected to you? Or will you make the choice to go and live your life? Are you telling me, Annette, that you can pass out at a party, wake up with someone connected to you, and then be forced to live the rest of your life with this person being dependent on you? So if you're willing to do that, Annette, I want you to come to Los Angeles, okay? Because I have some work that I would like for you to do with no pay. And I would like for you to do all of the work that I need you to do with no pay. And I want you to do it and just sacrifice your life for me. So come to Los Angeles, and I'll give you some stuff that you can do. All right? I'll give you some stuff that you can do. All right, so the phone lines are open. The telephone number is 323-488 3 I'm sorry. Yeah, 3149. Can somebody cut and paste the number in there every so often? So I need somebody. So it's 323-488-3149. Annette, can you find out when you can get to Los Angeles to be able to do this work for me, please? All right. So who's the next caller that's going to call up? I see the person with the poor spelling who was claiming she was paying all that in taxes. She didn't call in. All right. You are on live with
Hi,
Tonya. What's your name?
hi, this is Courtney from Philly.
Hey, Courtney.
I'm
How
from
are
Philadelphia,
you?
Pennsylvania.
You're what?
Hi. I'm sorry?
I didn't hear that last part. Say it again. You're from what?
It's Philadelphia, Pennsylvania.
Well, we know where Philly is. Are there any other Phillies in the United States?
No, I wasn't sure if y'all heard me clear, that's all. So,
Okay.
yeah, so I just had a baby. I feel like pregnancy is a job within itself. Me personally, I don't believe a woman should work while she's pregnant.
That's
Me
true.
with my pregnancy, I had severe hyperemesis gravidarum. I don't know if people want to look this up, but it's a condition that less than 1% of pregnant women get. I was on the Zofran pills. They did not help. I was on the Zofran pump. It did not help. I was basically starving to death. I had nausea, vomiting. I could not eat nothing. I lost 50 pounds in my pregnancy.
You
I
know
had to
what?
get
Hold. You know what?
tubes.
You know what? I'm so sorry, Courtney.
Yes,
I'm
yes.
having a hard time understanding what you're saying. It's so crazy because Christiane called and I could understand her, but I'm having a hard time understanding you. I need you to talk slower for me, okay?
Yes, I'm sorry. I do talk fast. So yeah, so to sum it up, I had a condition called hyperemesis gravidarum that less than 1%.
Hergoderm.
Hyperemesis gravidarum.
Hypervenesis gravidarum. Okay.
Yes, it's just basically saying constant vomiting and nausea.
Oh,
So I lost 50 pounds. I was on a pill called Zofran. They give it out to pregnant women like candy. Well, they say it's morning sickness, but it's more than just morning sickness. I had the Zofran pump in my stomach. It did not help. I was like near death, so I had to get tubes in my jugular vein in my neck to basically nourish my body, and I was induced with my baby.
oh
So
God.
I feel as though it should be a woman's choice to me, because pregnancy is just not only just pretty belly and you're glowing. It's more than just that. It's a lot that goes into carrying a baby. You have to make sure your emotions, your thoughts, your energy is positive, because you don't want that to affect your child. Your eating has to be good. Um, your surrounding, like your home, everything has to be harmonious to carry this baby. Me personally, I feel as though pregnant women should be up with their feet up, sipping lemonade. So to me, it should be the woman's choice, because they're the ones that have to go through this pregnancy for 9, 10 months.
And so, how soon into the pregnancy did you realize that you had this disease?
Okay, as soon as I turned 6 weeks, the nausea and vomiting did not stop.
Oh, and you, how much did you weigh before you got pregnant? Could you afford to lose 50 pounds?
Um, no, because it was making me sick. I was like 200 pounds. Okay, so I'm like 5'3". I was like 230. So I lost 50 pounds. It was like I was still okay, but that quick, it was very rapid while I was
Okay.
pregnant. The baby could have like rejected it, so I could have lost the baby, and it was a fact. I needed like a lot of that vitamin K. That's like what
Potassium.
vitamin K is like a potassium, and it affects your heart. So I could have it could have got really bad. I lived in triage.
Oh my God.
They caught. Yeah, I had so many IVs and needles. I could they called me a pincushion. I
So
could
why
it
did
was
you why
I
did
got
you
such.
decide to go full term?
Why did I decide to go for term? It was a planned pregnancy. It was something that, and then hearing the baby's heartbeat, seeing the ultrasounds, it was just something that I just had to go for with myself. Also, you need support. You need the family and friend
Oh, is that
support.
the little baby?
It's not. Yeah, that's him. That's him. I think we were on your line one time too. You hold the touch. That's him right here. Yeah. So it's a
What's
lot.
his name? Tell him come forward.
Hey, get the cake on your mouth.
Okay.
Yes.
Well, welcome to the world, little fella. Do you know what the pregnancy did to your mama?
Yes. So it's a lot. It's a lot. Pregnancy is a lot. It's nothing to take lightly. I feel those people that pass these laws, they should at least work or have some type of knowledge or something in the whole healthcare. Like at least speak to a gynecologist, speak to someone who does, labor and delivery, talk to, go volunteer, go something. Don't just pass these laws. I mean, and if you're going to, what other things you're going to do to support these laws that you said, okay, if you're going to make it, if you're going to ban it, what are you going to do to, support your banning it? Are you going to, offer more resources? what are you going to do to uphold these laws of church? Because it's just, it's crazy. It's a lot.
Okay. Well, you know what? Thank you. I appreciate your point of view. So, wait, before you go, what are your thoughts about the people who are saying, "Well, it was that woman's choice to have sex, so that's what she gets."
Oh my God. I don't know if you got the time. I do. But a lot of times it is not the woman's choice. I mean, people lie. There's rape out here. There's a lot of different things that go on to it. So you don't, you try to do due diligence as best you can, but people say whatever they want to say. There is rape. There's a lot of things that go. People change. Just because I love you today does not mean I'm gonna love. I have to love you tomorrow. There's some choice.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, it's a lot.
Okay.
It's a lot that goes into it.
So one of the things that you said kind of falls in line with the bill. You said once you heard the baby's heartbeat and saw the baby on the sonogram, that you were like, that you felt like the baby, what?
Um, well, from okay, me. All right, I'm supposed to speak to my me personally. I said it was planned. So I feel though if this pregnancy is planned, both parents plan this pregnancy. We see we want this baby. We will this baby here. So that's one thing that me personally for myself, I had to see through, and also to make the decision to try to have a happy, healthy pregnancy and a happy, healthy baby as much as I could. So that's just for me personally. I don't know other women. I've had friends who did have an abortion. Some of them regretted it. Um, some say they probably would regret it either way, but they still carried forth, through with their pregnancy. So every person is different. Everyone's background, everybody's lifestyle is different. Um, some people don't have that support.
Mm-hmm.
Financially, it's a lot. Like being pregnant, you have to go to these prenatal appointments. That costs money. That costs money. Prenatal
Mm.
vitamins, ultrasounds, those things cost money. Who's going to pay for that?
How much does an
Someone
ultrasound
still has to
cost?
work. If you just want like a regular QC 3D ultrasound, I think they were like almost $100.
Okay.
But you have to get scans where they check in different organs and make sure everything is growing correctly. If you want to find out if it's a boy, they do the head measurements. It's just a lot of lab work. It's a lot and it's expensive.
Oh, wow.
You know,
Well, you know what?
when you have the baby, you have to take them to, they're back and forth seeing their pediatrician. They have, if you want them to get vaccines, those things cost money.
Oh,
Pampers, the little things add up. Pacifiers, if you want nursing pads, nursing breast pumps, those things cost money, and it's time consuming to like sit there and nurse a baby, or to pump, or just play with them. It's a lot.
oh, wow. Well, you know what? Thank you. I appreciate your point of view. You've schooled us today. Okay.
Great. I have me on.
Thank you. And tell your baby hello. Goodbye, everybody. All
Bye.
right. Okay. So, there we have it. I want to hear from someone who supports the bill because no one has called in. A lot of people in the audience got a lot to say in the comments, but you won't let your voice be heard. You won't stand up for what it is that you believe in and speak on this thing that you claim to support. I'm very confused. A lot of people fighting back and forth inside the comments, but not one person who is pro taking away a woman's right to choose has called in. So there's a lot of people talking big talk inside the chat room, chatting big chat, but don't have the courage to call in. Mm, I find that in and of itself interesting. Phone lines are open 323-488-3149. All of that time typing. Uh-huh. So let's go back to this CNN article. Oh, the phone is ringing. Have I goaded someone on? Let's take a look and see. You're on the air live with Tonya. What's your name, caller?
Hi, Tonya. This is Don't Play with Mrs. Allen. My name is Leora.
Okay,
I'm
hi.
sick, so bear with my voice, please.
Okay, so are you in support of taking away a woman's right to choose?
Well, I've been one of those that has been writing in the dialogue that's going to chat. So I'm being a woman and speaking up for what I was talking about. What I threw out there for everyone to discuss was I have a girlfriend that I grew up with that has used abortion as her birth control method. I know of 16 abortions she has had since we were 17 years old.
You said that this is your
So my
girlfriend?
yeah, girl I grew up with, yeah. Mhm.
And she's your
And
friend? I'm sorry, I didn't. I'm trying to figure out if this is your friend.
yeah, and she had 16 that I know of. She's had 16 abortions since we were in high school.
Okay.
And so I was just throwing it out to everyone in the chat that some women, and I have a number of friends that have used abortion. I have a niece who uses abortion as a birth control method. So I was kind of being like devil's advocate, saying to them, should there be more regulation on it? I mean, there are those instances we all know that rape and children and people have had incest and things occur that it's a negative, and the child will probably be brought into a negative environment. But what about those women that use it as an extreme level of having, birth control? I mean, that's all. I was trying to throw it out there
Well,
to
you
see
know
what.
what? I'll play devil's advocate on your devil's advocate.
Okay.
Should a person who values their body so little
Mm-hmm.
that they're willing to have a major medical procedure
Mm-hmm.
to have their uterus scraped 16 times, right? 16 times. So we're talking about every year this person is going to have to go under anesthesia and have their uterus scraped, and is having so much unprotected sex and valuing their body so little that they would undergo this procedure 16 times. Is that the type of person that you would want to force to bring an innocent human life into the realms of? If this person, is that the type of person? I'm curious, Miss Allen. Would you want to force an innocent life into that household?
Absolutely not. And on top of that, she has 11 children
I'm
that she
done.
is caring
The
for.
phone call is over.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for
Oh,
calling in. I'm sorry. I'm done.
okay.
I'm done.
Okay.
No, don't hang up. Don't. I was just joking. I'm joking. I'm joking. I guess everyone doesn't know my sense of humor. That was too much. That was too much. That was too much. That was too much. There's something going on. There's something going. I'm sorry, Miss Allen. I was joking. I was joking. That's the way me and my friends play. I was just joking. I was just joking. You know what? I can't play like that with people that I don't know. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. But that's too much. 16 abortions, 11 children. She said 11 children, so we're talking about 27. No, you know what? That's why I was done. No. 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 No, 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 no. No, 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 no. 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 I'm sorry. I cannot. I can't. No. No, I can't. 27? No. Something is happening to. No. So, we're talking how? How can a person give birth 27 times? How? So, no. As a matter of fact, I can imagine that those 11 pregnancies were used as a form of birth control themselves. So, I can't. I can't. I can't. Next caller, please. Next caller. Next caller. We're gonna finish reading this article, right, from CNN, because we never got a chance to finish the article, right? All right. The American Civil Liberty. So this is the article from CNN talking about the ban, the abortion ban that went in today. The American Civil Liberties Union said it will go to court if Kemp signs the bill. It says the legislation would ban safe, legal abortions and criminalize the most intimate decision women and couples make. The state Senate approved the bill last Friday, which was yesterday, and sent a version with changes back to the House. Legislators in other states have pursued similar bills. Mississippi Governor Phil Bryant signed a bill into law this month that would ban abortions once a fetal heartbeat can be detected. But many times they are held up in committees, rejected in legislative votes, vetoed by governors, and struck down in courts. No state has been able to put a heartbeat bill into lasting practice, right? In January, an Iowa judge struck down the state's fetal heartbeat bill. So, this is something that's been going on all over the country, declaring it unconstitutional. The U.S. Supreme Court has previously declined to weigh in after Iowa court. After sorry, I thought that was Iowa. It's lower. That's a L. After lower courts blocked bills in North Dakota and Arkansas. The Georgia legislation has drawn opposition. Georgia's Democrats opposed the bill, and several lawmakers came to the House with wire hangers and bleach, a reference to the dangerous measures women have taken for self induced abortion. They say Friday they will work to recruit political candidates to challenge Republicans who supported the legislation. So, what do you all think so far? There's more to the article. There are 255 people in here right now and 78 thumbs up. Go ahead and thumbs up the video. That matters for the YouTube algorithm, so go ahead and do that. Okay. So, in passing the abortion ban, Republicans have shown that they cannot be trusted. So this is Nikema Williams, who's the chair of the Democratic Party in Georgia. She says, in passing the abortion ban, Republicans have shown that they cannot be trusted to make decisions on behalf of Georgia women, Georgia's healthcare system, or Georgia's economy. She says, we can't afford to let them continue to take our state backwards. And then former Democratic gubernatorial candidate Stacey Abrams said Friday she learned some Republicans and business leaders in the state were dismissing the impact of the bill as quote unquote irrelevant. So listen, there's no leadership. This is what Stacey Abrams is saying. There is no leadership in damning women to the whims of yet another test of our humanity. HB 481 is bad for women because reproductive injustice is real. It is bad for businesses because women won't forget. And it is a stain on the state that once knew how to light and lead the way. Hashtag shame. So Alyssa Milano is also talking about Hollywood movies not producing movies in the state of Georgia and hitting the Georgia economy that way. So Melissa Milano is saying that there are 20 productions shooting in Georgia right now, and she's telling them to stop feeding the Georgia economy and to go elsewhere. So listen, we have a few more minutes for the broadcast. As a matter of fact, we're going to end the broadcast. This is going to be the last caller calling in right now. Go ahead and turn down your computer, please. You're on the line with Tonya live.
Hi, Tonya.
Hi.
This is Liz. How are you today?
Hi, Liz. I'm fine, thank you. So, are you in support or against the bill?
I don't even know. Maybe you could help me define that a little better.
I need you to talk up. I can't even hear you, so I know people online can't hear you.
Okay, I apologize. Let me take it off speaker. Can you hear me now?
I can.
Okay. I said maybe you could help me define if I'm pro or against, but I don't feel none of our rights should be taken
but I know a lot of women that use welfare and Medicaid, and their mother has taught them to use it. They keep having these children just to stay in houses. They're living better than me and you
No,
with
they
10
aren't.
kids. In Las Vegas, they have five-bedroom houses in the suburbs,
How
paying
much, I'm sorry,
$10.
how much money is a person on welfare receiving? How much money per month?
They're not receiving it, Tanya. They only pay like $10 in rent.
Why are you upset that a person is paying $10 a month in rent? Why does that trouble you?
Oh no, I'm not upset. I'm just saying they keep having children just to pay that. And then once one of their children are about to turn 18, they make their daughters have a baby at 17 to keep that house and keep going.
Well, you know
So
what?
I believe if you're in the system, maybe they should get a birth control or something, but never take away our right to have children.
Yeah, okay.
So that's what I'm saying. I don't
Liz,
know what I
so
want,
you
but
know what?
that is
I'm glad you called in because I feel like you bring up some very important points, right? So what
okay.
you're saying is that who there are people who are living in a 5 bedroom house, right?
Correct.
And their ability or desire to have more for their lives is so low that they would rather have a child so that they can be able to have whomever, the state, the government, or whatever, pay for that home, right? That's what you're saying,
Correct.
correct?
Correct.
Right. So
Yes.
basically, what it is that we have is we have taxpayers who are paying for a safe, clean,
Mm.
comfortable. You said they're living better than me, and I live in a beautiful, beautiful place, right?
Oh, I didn't mean you specifically. I'm just saying us hardworking people that
Okay, all right.
over here is not doing
So
anything.
what you're saying is this is what, correct me if I'm wrong, that they are having children and they're able to have those children and bring them up in a safe, clean, comfortable luxury home. Is that what you're saying?
Correct.
Right.
Correct.
And what do you think the alternative should be? That they should have their child living in squalor?
Oh no, no, no. I'm just saying it's sad because this has happened to a couple of my friends. Their mom told them to have a baby at 16 and 17 because they were about to be 18, so they could keep their home.
Okay.
And I'm saying we all need assistance. We all fall down in life. It happens. But there's people that are just abusing the system or
You
taking our
think
tax money. And
you think bringing a human life into the world and being able to raise that human life in a beautiful home is somehow abuse of the system?
um, to a point when they don't want to work, Tanya, they don't want to do anything.
What is it that
And
they
then they're looking better than
how
the
do you how do
child.
you
The
how
child has
how do you
um,
know these people? How do you know them?
um, I'm a caregiver. On some of them, I take care of their mothers. Their hair, their nails look good, but the baby has holes in their shoes. Like it's a sad situation.
Okay, so you're a caregiver for some of their mothers. So this is what I'm hearing. What I'm hearing is that some of these women may be using some of the money to look beautiful. Are the children fed?
Um, I don't know. They're not
Do
fed
they look
completely.
like the
They don't
pictures
look
that you
good.
see of children in Yemen where their bones are
No,
sticking
they
out?
don't look good.
Okay, so the children are fed. The children live inside of a
Uh-huh.
beautiful surrounding. And when the mothers get ill, they have a caregiver that comes and takes care of the mother. I'm confused as to what the issue
Not the
is.
mother, the grandmother.
Even so when the grandmother is ill, there's a caregiver that comes and takes care of the grandmother. So everybody inside the house is fed. Everyone is living
Correct.
someplace safe. And so I'm confused because we want people to have children we want people to have children. We want these children to be able to be well educated and live well and be able to become a part of society, right? Okay, so now you're talking about two generations of people who they themselves did not feel the need to do more than what, get a few hundred, or even let's say they were getting, you said that they were not getting any cash each month. That's what you said, that all they're doing is having their house paid for.
They normally out here in Vegas they won't put a father's name so they can't get all the assistance.
How much assistance do you think they're getting each month? Give me a
It's
number.
just I've never been on welfare, so I don't know. It's just food stamps, and then they get the assistant living. But at this moment, Vegas is out of funds. Like a lot of the states are running out of funds, so people that really need the assistance can't even get it anymore.
So in a state like Nevada
Mhm.
with legalized prostitution and more money cycling through their casinos each day than most people make all year, a state like Nevada is having a hard time, you're saying, being able to help people live in safe, clean, comfortable environments for the people who are brave enough to decide to have children. That's what it sounds like you're saying.
I I see where you're coming from, but it's just a catch-22. So it's like me telling you, keep having your babies so you can live off the taxpayer money and not do anything.
Okay, let me ask you a question. When was the last time you wrote your representative in Congress about the amount of money that we're spending on war? Let's see how much $1 trillion is. I think we've spent $70 trillion. Let's see, how much money have we spent? How much money? I need, so you know what? Those of you out there probably have an easier and faster time of Googling than I have. So I want somebody out there to find out and do this for me, right? Because I know the
Okay.
number. Because in order to be a millionaire, right, you need to make
Mhm.
$83,000 a month in order to be a millionaire, right?
Okay.
So how much money is a person who has decided to live their life on welfare? How much money are they really getting? Let's say they're getting $1,000 a month in cash. We're talking about $12,000 a year. How much
Yeah.
$12,000 a year compared to a person who is a millionaire who would be bringing in $83,000 a month. So I want somebody to tell me, a trillion, how much money have we spent on the Iraq war in the 17 years since we've been at war with Iraq? How much money have we spent? I want to know. There are 229 people in here. I want to see some more thumbs up. That matters for the YouTube algorithm. You can close out the chat area to click the thumbs up. I need somebody to tell me how much money. Somebody Google this, please, while we're on hold. Because if I Google it, it's going to take up bandwidth and it's going to slow down the video and all of that.
This is why I love you, Tanya. I wasn't calling to debate or disrespect you in any way, but it's this thing. I'm glad that you're bringing this to the forefront because we feel some type of way, but then it's like, okay, should we just sit up here and keep making babies? But then we're all pro-life, but it's just sometimes people just take advantage of certain things.
So Honey is saying
But
$1.7 trillion on war. So
wow,
a trillion is 1,000 billion. I need somebody to do the math. Let me pull up my calculator because I thought it was more than 1.7. Somebody saying it's 2.4 trillion. Lot of mercy. I'm just gonna Google it. How much money has the U.S. spent on war in the middle? Oh look, war. Listen, since 2001, since on wars since 2001. $5.6 trillion is what the Wall Street Journal is saying, right? So
okay.
let's do how many billion in a trillion, okay? Let's do this. Let's do this. How many billion in a trillion? Oh my God. In the American system, 1 billion is one and 9 zeros, and a trillion is one and one, two, three, four. Oh my God, 12 zeros.
Wow. Okay.
Okay, so one trillion is a million times 1 billion. I almost used profanity online. 1 trillion is 1 million times 1 billion. This is unbelievable. No, this can't be. I'm sorry. Okay, I'm sorry. I jumped down to the bottom of the paragraph. It says so 1 trillion is 1,000 times a billion. Okay, so 1 trillion is 1,000 billion. And a billion is 1,000 million. So 1,000 million. So my God, if $83,000 a month is makes you a millionaire, right? Let's pull out the calculator. I'm gonna need pen and paper because we're gonna write this down. Get your pen and paper, boys and girls, because we're not playing right now.
Everyone's getting mad at me, Tanya. I even brought it up.
No, it's okay.
Everybody's not getting mad at me.
Okay, listen, go get a piece of paper, boys and girls. We're going to work this out, right? So we've spent 5.6 trillion, right, on war. Okay? So a trillion, 1 trillion equals 1,000 billion, right? So that's 1 and 3 zeros, billion, right?
Mm-hmm.
And 1 billion equals 1,000 million, right? Oh my God. Let me see. This is unbelievable. I don't even know. I don't even have the concept for how to work out this math, right? Because we need to add one, two, three, one, two. No, it's multiplied by. So we have to. Oh, this is unbelievable. Did you say your name was Liz?
Yes, love. But it's okay. I just wanted to know that because I know you touch good topics, but
Don't get
nobody
off the
ever talks about
phone.
that one.
Don't get off the phone. I already chased one people away, one person away by saying I was done. So hold on. I want to get the calculator. I want to get the calculator. All right.
Yes.
So what we're gonna do is I'm going to look at that page again. All right. 1 trillion is 1,000,12 zeros. Okay, so I'm gonna copy and paste this into the calculator because this is a lot. Okay, so we're going to paste this here. So we have 1 trillion right there divided by 365. 365 equals. My God, this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So this is a billion. 1 trillion is 2.8, I'm sorry, 2.7 billion a day. Okay? 2.7 billion a day.
Okay. Wow.
So what we're going to do is we're going to so 2 points. So this is if we multiplied this by 1,000, that would be how many millions? So this is 2,739 million dollars per day. That's how much we're spent. No, no.
Wow.
Oh no. You know what? We only did for 1 billion. We're going to multiply this by 5.6 because we spent 5.6 billion. So we're talking about this number is so large. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So we have 15,342 million dollars per day on war. This is how much, and we're talking about, we're upset from giving somebody $1,000 a month, and we're spending $15,342 million per day. I'm out. Thank you so much, Liz, for helping us work on those numbers. All right?
Thank you, Tanya. You have a great day.
Okay, you too, you too. That's per day. And so what we're going to do is we're going to divide this by 24. By 24 so that we can see how much we're spending an hour, right? We're spending $639 million an hour. Listen, I want you to hear what the F I'm saying. Listen to what it is that I'm saying. I want to know if you're able to comprehend these numbers. We're spending $639 million an hour. Look, my underarms are beginning to sweat. Look, my underarms are sweating now just listening to these numbers. We are spending $640 an hour on war. And we're complaining about somebody being able to spend $1,000 a month in this country. I'm sorry. And those are the freeloaders? Those are the freeloaders? They're bringing human lives into the world, human lives that we claim are so precious. These human lives are so precious, right? Why can't these human lives eat? You are on live with Tonya.
Hey, Tonya, it's Whitney.
Hi, Whitney. How are
You can
you?
hear me?
Yes, I can.
I'm good. All right, good. I was just listening to Liz. You can hear me, right? I was
Yes.
just listening to Liz. And I feel like a lot of what she was saying was foolishness, and I also feel like a lot of people need to mind their business. And I say that because them little $2 and $3 they taking from everybody's check to put into welfare is not what's bankrupting people. So people mad because other people paying a cheaper rent or whatever they getting food stamps. I understand. You might want to be that person. So I get why people are upset. But to go back to the topic, because I think we kind of got off topic. To go on and talk about how that the law should be that they get rid of abortions in Georgia. I think it's a very dangerous situation. I don't think anybody should be able to take away a woman's right to choose. I think that's real whack, and I think the fact that let's go even back further. I'm sorry, I'm talking a lot and I'm talking fast is because I'm excited.
Well, you know what? Listen, I'm from New York, so I understand your
Did you hear the
accent
Brooklyn? Well, okay, you hear the Brooklyn in my throat. Thank you.
in your
Well,
throat,
my girl.
Lord.
I know
So
you.
what I need you to do, what I need you to do for the people who are not from New York, if you could just talk a little slower, okay? I understand you're excited, but
All right, let me slow
take
down.
the pace
So,
down,
okay, let me slow down.
okay?
So what I'm saying is that I heard a few calls. The young lady that called before Liz indicated that she knew a girl that had 16 abortions, this, that, and the third, and she had 11 children. Yes, there are some people who have had multiple abortions and abused the system. However, does that mean that because of that, we should take away the right for people to choose? I don't agree. There's so many people who how do you say, abuse welfare. Does that mean that for the people who are actually poor and who actually do need it, they shouldn't get it? We should cut welfare altogether because some people abuse it. So I feel like it's a situation like that. I feel like as women we should stand in support of one another, and I don't think that we should be telling other women, yeah, girl, no, have that baby because it's not right or whatever it is. It's that woman's right to choose because what happens is that y'all make these people have these babies and then they suffer. The kids is poor, they found in trash cans, or everybody's surprised when mommy takes the kids to the pool and drown them, or take them to the river and drown them because she can't afford to feed them. So in places, especially like Georgia, where you got to be dirt poor to get help, to get assistance, you got to be like poor. It's not like New York where you could come and get a little food card and make a way. You understand? Down
Okay.
there, you got to be poor to get help. So I'm saying that to say this. If other systems are not going to be in place to help the people after they have these children, to hold, to mind them, to take care of them, to provide for them, then I
Yeah.
don't think that this is something that should be allowed to happen.
Yeah, so let's play devil's advocate. I like to argue both sides of an argument. And
So
I really want someone. I'm sorry, they're arguing in the comments. Miss Allen, you did say that the woman had 16 abortions and 11 children. You did say that.
we did, and we came up with the number 27 as a result.
Yeah, so I'm sorry, I just took that quick segue. So let's do the other side of it. So what should be done about people who do abuse the system?
What can you do? What can be done? I don't think you could do anything. You're gonna really tell people like, oh, they have a limit on their vagina. You could only get 5 abortions this year or in your lifetime. I don't think that there's anything that can be done. I know plenty of people that have abortions. I've had abortions. Let's keep it 100. I'm sure a couple people on here have too. You understand what I'm saying? I have two
Okay.
children, right? And I've had 4 abortions. I'm keeping it real with y'all. It's real. You understand what I'm saying?
So
I'm a single
what
mother, right?
Wow. So what happened? What happened that so how did you end up having four of them?
All right. My first pregnancy, I was 15. Second, 19 in college. Third, 21. My daughter's 11 now. Um, fourth, no, shoot, I had a couple of pregnancies. Fourth one, I had my other daughter at 23. She's now 8. And then I had two more recently, like in the last 2 years. Played myself, not making the right choices. It's all kind of different situations. I know that when I was 15, I had to go to college. I couldn't come home and tell my mother that I was breeding. That wasn't in the plan. I grew up in a home. Grew up in a single parent home, and the whole thing they used to pump is education. Education over everything. My grandmother is Guyanese. We're from Guyana, South America, not Ghana in Africa. I know people get it confused. So the whole thing she used to say is, don't make no man come and big up your belly and have you hanging your head in shame. You understand? So I knew I
Okay.
couldn't come home and tell that. Matter of fact, let me tell you something. Let me tell y'all something. Matter of fact, I went and got the abortion done on my own. My mother didn't even know. I was 15 years old. Went to Planned Parenthood, did the whole procedure and everything. Told her I was going to attract me because I used to run track. You understand? Got dressed and went to the people place. Nobody never knew till months later. So it's different situations and different times in my life where I made poor decisions. And I grown and I still make fucked up decisions,
Hold
right?
hold
But
on, hold on. So question though, question.
Mhm, mhm.
So I lost track. I got to be honest with you because it sounded like you
All right,
said you
let's
had
go.
more than four abortions.
No, no, no. I'm telling you all the pregnancies, but
Oh,
I've
so
had
the pregnancies because you were using the word abortion. So you have
right.
four, you have four children.
No, girl, I only got two.
Okay, because somebody said four abortions and four children, so I was confused by the numbers. Okay, what was it
No, no,
that
no.
made you decide to have the two that you had? Because you said they're 11 and 8, right? So that's 4 years apart.
No, she's the 8-year-old is gonna be 9, so they're 2 years apart. Um,
Okay. So what
but the
what was it that
reason
made
that
you why those two instead of any of the other ones?
because I got to a point where I was like, no, I want to have my kid, and that's how I felt about the one, my eldest one, that's 11. I was like, nah, I want to have, I'm gonna have it. I can't continue to do this. I want to
And
have my baby. And the second one, and I'm gonna keep it 100 with you. I was with the same father when I had the second baby. But when I found out I was pregnant with the second baby, I was like, I already knew in my mind, based on the way the relationship was going, that I was going to be a single mother. But I figured, fuck it, they two from the same father. Let's go with it.
okay.
Same last name. I'm just saying. Listen.
But you had an abortion between the girls.
No, 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 no.
But also you said you
After
had one.
after the last one.
So you had one after the last one.
Yeah, can I just say something? I'm reading the comments as I'm thinking too. I see Chris T says that I'm sound stupid and my mother should have told me to keep my legs closed. Your mother should have told you to shut. Hey,
Excuse me,
the
excuse
money
me.
up business.
Let's keep it classy. Let's keep it
Yeah, that's
classy.
less.
Okay,
Less.
let's.
I will because this
Oh,
is see. Sometimes what happens is that people speak out of turn, and because they have limited life experience, they can only stand from a
but you
place of
know what?
judgment.
Let's. But you're having a conversation with me. When you go back
No, no,
into
no.
the
I'm over that. But I'm just making a
right. So
general
no,
statement. And
listen,
when I
listen. When you go back into the comments, you could battle with the people in the comments. But right now on the phone,
don't tell me.
I want to know. I have so many questions because I'm curious. So
Okay.
so let's so okay. But you had one after your last daughter.
Yes, I
Wh-
had two.
You had two after your last daughter.
Recently, not no like immediately after, like recently, like within the last let's say 2 years. So
Okay.
I go twice in 1 year.
So these were with a
With
different
somebody,
father.
yeah, somebody completely different.
Okay. And so you decided that you did not want to have this person's children.
No, it wasn't that I decided that I didn't want to. He didn't want to, and I didn't want to be nobody's single mother. I'm already a single mother. So I figured that, you know what, rather than play myself and make my
Oh.
life. Yeah, so I'm being
You know
honest.
what? You know what? You just brought something else to mind. So if he was willing to step up and be a father and be in your life, marry you and all that other stuff, create a stable home, would you have had those last two children?
Absolutely.
You would have.
Absolutely.
Okay, but since he wasn't stepping up and you didn't want to be stuck with his children, but then there were two, so you knew that he wasn't.
Blame myself twice. Blame myself twice, yeah.
Okay, so you knew that he wasn't the type of man that you wanted to have children with, and what this was unprotected sex we were having?
We were having unprotected sex. I was on birth control, on and off birth control. At one point, I was on birth control pills, and I had an IUD. And my IUD ended up falling out and all kinds of dumbness. So
Girl,
there's
please
been.
don't say that. Don't say that.
I'm dead serious. I was in the shower. I promise you. I was in the shower one day washing myself, and I'm like, yo, what is this in my hand? My whole IUD in my hand.
You know, that does not sound like a good look. I'm just being honest
Let
with
me
you.
tell you. I'll tell you what happened. Let me tell you what happened. How that happened. After the last procedure, I opted to get birth control put in on the same day. So you know the uterus has to contract. At that time, when you do the procedure, the uterus, everything is kind of like wide open. So it takes time, and the uterus has to contract and come back to itself. So what happened is it ended up moving and coming out after the uterus came back together process.
It squeezed
I'm
it
not.
out.
Yeah, basically.
You know what? You taught me something today because I did, because somebody else in the comments is saying that their IUD fell out. I did not know that could happen, but
Mhm.
listen.
Mhm.
So okay. So you said within the last 2 years that you have had, two abortions. How old are you
Mhm.
now, if you don't mind saying?
For me, my age when I tell my kids is 25, and I'm really 32.
Something you so doggone crazy. So okay, so you still have more years. So you think you may have children in the future?
I I would like to if I have a husband, but as I said before, I'm already a single mom. So to do this again, Dolo, I don't see it. And my
Okay.
kids are. The other part is that my children are 11 and 8. So in two they'll be out on their way to college. So to start kind of all the way over again and to be doing it, you know what I mean, alone, I don't. Mm-mm.
Okay.
This shit is hard. It's hard to be a single mother. It's hard to be. It's hard to be a single mother of one. I feel like it's hard to be a mother. Period. Add single to it, and then start taking, and then add poor, and then add all those other things. Like it becomes extremely complicated. So it's
Okay.
so I say that it's easy for people to sit again in the comment section or wherever in their lives and not have experienced certain things and to judge or to say what should have been done, what people should have did. You understand what I mean? Because if that's the case, some of the people on the comment section should have been aborted, if you ask me. But no shade. I'm done with the comment section. Yes, Miss Tanya.
So would you have an abortion again?
No,
I mean, I hear you
no.
saying that, but my instincts tells me that if the circumstances were not right, that you would.
Because you know why? Because the last time was extremely emotional for me.
Hmm.
Like it wasn't it was crazy. It was very emotional. So the day that I went to do the procedure, I didn't even end up doing it. I left.
Why did you
And
leave?
because oh God. All right, we being honest because I found out that it was two.
Oh, so they were
And I
twins.
was right, I was only prepared for the one. It was a big deal to do the one. You understand? So when the lady and the thing is that they're not supposed to tell you. You like they ask you permission if you want to know or see sonogram, all this other foolishness, right? So there's
Yeah.
documentation for that. What happened is the lady who I sat with, her facial expression and her body language told me that there was something alarming. So when I asked what happened, what is it? And she was like, oh, it's two, and that's how I found out. So I'm in there
Oh,
boo
okay.
shopping. I'm like, oh my God, I can't. You know what I mean? Like, because I didn't already want to be there doing that.
Right.
And now to wrap my head around it too, like I was like, nah, I can't. So I left and, tried to just get my life in order. And I had to look at, for me, I had to step back and kind of look at the bigger picture. If I'm already struggling to take care of kids that I already have, right?
Yeah.
Not to say, well, we living in the streets or we living in a shelter, but it's a struggle. I'm not where I want to be financially as of yet.
Yeah.
So that said, and my children still have the best of everything because I have a village who helps support me in addition to me supporting them as well. So I felt like it would be unfair to them who are already here to bring people who aren't here into the situation. And
Yeah,
so that
so
was the
question. You know what? I really appreciate your bravery and your honesty because there are a lot of people who are talking whatever it is that they're talking in the comments, but there are a lot of people in the comments, just statistically speaking, who they themselves have terminated a pregnancy. And there are people who are silent who wouldn't have the courage to come forward and speak about what it is that you're talking about. So my hat goes off to you, my heart opens for you, okay? So
thank you, and I appreciate that.
tell me your name one more time.
Whitney.
All right, so Whitney, question, what changes have you made in your choices since you say that you're not going to have another abortion? What changes have you made in your choices that would stop you from having another unwanted pregnancy?
So I am on birth control presently and plan to stay that way. I got my IUD put back in, and I got the 10-year one. And ladies, everybody who's listening, Paragard is better than Mirena. Paragard has the copper. Mirena, no bueno. That's the one that you're getting, that you hear the commercials that they're suing and all that about. So if you
Okay.
do an IUD through the Paragard, it's better for the vagina. The copper is better for the vagina.
Okay. And so you have an IUD put back in. What is the foolproof rate of an IUD?
I don't know what the exact percentage is. I think it's kind of up there with the It might be it might be 85%, but it may be what do you say? How you say, like the same way as the condoms? I'm not really sure.
They're saying it's 99%.
Okay,
Um,
well then I'm lit then.
somebody's going into timeout. Give me just one moment. All right. So question. What changes have you made in the choice of men that you've decided to participate with?
Well, I am no longer in engaging and trying to be, how you say, other people's heroes. I think that I've noticed a pattern in my life that I like to help people, and I feel sorry for people. So um, I'm not looking. First of all, I'm not looking, right? Secondly, I'm not looking to take on another burden. I'm not looking to raise nobody's son. I got daughters. I'm good on that, and I've focused my life where I am, as we speak, working on self development. I'm building a brand. I'm an entrepreneur, so I'm focusing on my business and focusing on my children and preparing them for entrepreneurship, right? So even though the goal is for them to attend college, they're going to college to learn. They're not going to college because that equates to dream job.
Okay.
So
Well, you know what?
I've
Listen,
opened
listen
up.
to this.
Mhm.
Because you were so honest and you spoke about stuff that most people wouldn't have the courage to say, I'm going to give you 50% off of the Forgive Hypnotherapeutic MP3 on my website. So contact me. Yeah, contact me afterwards and get your coupon code. Just come to my website and click on the contact button, and that MP3 is going to assist you in being able to forgive other people and yourself. You're going to go into a deep hypnotic process where I'm going to take you on a journey. And in that journey, you are going to bring up some things that you're going to be able to release, things that you didn't even know were there. So I use some very intense hypnotherapy inside of that MP3. This MP3 is it is the best of the best in terms of taking you deep into hypnosis. I am a certified clinical hypnotherapist, and in this MP3 you're going to get a new lease on life, okay? So come to my website and write to me. And this is the MP3 is not, it's not play, it's not, this is a very powerful, and in this I do some deep induction to get you to go deep into hypnosis. And when you come out, you go so deep into hypnosis in this MP3 that when you come out, you're not the same person going in that you were, that you're not the same person coming out that you were going in, and you won't even really fully be able to conceive any longer of what it is that you were holding on to before. Okay?
Mama, God bless you. Thank you so much because right on time. You got me in tears over here.
Well,
Right on time. I really appreciate that. I'm so glad I called. I'm so grateful for that because you heard me say that I'm working on myself, and there are some things that I've experienced that I need to get past and let go of. So I think that'll definitely help me, and I greatly appreciate it. Thank you very much.
Yeah, we love you very much. So thank you, Whitney. Thank you for calling in.
Love you guys too. Thanks for letting me share. Have a great night, everyone.
Okay.
Brooklyn, stand up.
And then she had to give her Brooklyn shout out at the end. All right. So listen, we went a lot longer than we thought we were going to go, and there were some people who were asking for the number. So I'll let one more caller come in if you really, really, really feel that you need to share. So the phone lines are open. The phone number is 323-488-3149. And so Missy is giving her testimony about the MP3. So thank you very much for that, Missy. Thank you very much for that. So the phone lines are open. Rodney, please don't call in. The last time you called in, it was just a bunch of nonsense on the air, and I'm not really interested in that right now. So we just had a very heartfelt sharing, and we don't want nonsense right now. We want people who really, really feel like they need to share. So the telephone number is 323-488-3149, and the phone lines are open. Louis is going to go into timeout because he's trying to egg on a situation that doesn't need to be egged on. Okay, you are on the air live with Tonya Tko.
Hello.
Yeah, hi. Can you talk up some and make sure that your computer is on mute?
Hi. How are you?
Hi, I'm fine, thank you.
My name's Tracy.
What is your name, Tracy?
Yeah.
Okay, so Tracy, what is it that you'd like to talk about?
I just wanted to thank the last caller because he explained a lot of things very well, and I did wanted to kind of add to it. A lot of people don't speak out about their parents because I feel like there's this honor thy mother, thy father thing that kind of goes around where nobody speaks about what happened in their childhood. And I'm one of those children that where like my mom actually straight up told me to go and off myself. So I have an experience with a mother that I actually believe had me to keep a man.
Oh, wow.
I am now grown, and now I'm dealing with all of this. So I'm just kind of just putting it out there. I'm not saying that I am dealing with a lot. I am going to therapy.
Mm-hmm.
I was in an accident that brought everything back. My mother is someone who cannot take responsibility. She wants me to just kind of put everything in the past and just move on when everything in the past has made me who I am. It has given me body tremors, has given me anxiety, severe depression. I actually have PTSD and all of these things right now because of the accident. And I don't think it would have been this bad if I didn't have all of this past trauma already. Yeah. So that's kind of what I wanted to add to all those women that are saying that these women that are having babies, the government's not really helping these women that are having babies because
for example, I actually don't, I look at my mom as a narcissistic woman, and I know it's not right for me to be diagnosing my mom like that.
Mm-hmm.
But for my mom, she's not going to get help. She's someone who has all of this trauma. I don't hate her, but she has all of this trauma that I can see that she is never going to deal with. And I can see that my mom's the type of mother who, when she gets angry, she can't just breathe and kind of just try to understand the situation. Instead, she just acts crazy. She starts cussing and she starts beating her kids. My mom even bit my little brother. And I'm sitting here like, why are you biting a child? Why are you? Because she can't control her anger, because all of that trauma comes out when she gets angry. And that's the problem. A lot of these women, I believe in intergenerational trauma.
Yeah.
I actually believe in that. And I don't think a lot of people talk about it. Another thing a lot of people don't talk about is the hypersexuality problem that a lot of women have, because a lot of women cover up that trauma, and I feel like they develop a hypersexuality problem covering up that trauma. They also develop narcissistic issues. They may not have a personality disorder, but they may develop narcissistic traits to cover that hate that they have from themselves, that pain that they have from themselves. If you can't deal with that pain, you end up covering it up, I feel. That's just my opinion, though. I'm not trying to, like, force my opinion on anybody, but I'm just someone who has a mother like that. So you
Okay.
can't really say that these women are having kids just to do all of these things. These women are messed up.
Okay. You know
And
what?
and I'm
Thank
just,
you.
yeah,
You
sorry.
bring up some really good points. Thank you. So basically what you're saying is that, a lot of people are looking at the women who have 16 abortions and 11 children, or 4 abortions and this, that, and the other. So a lot of people are looking at that, but they're not looking at the underlying reason that caused them to
Yes.
maybe act out
Yes,
or not value themselves
these
as
women are
much.
looking for attention. These
Okay.
women don't feel loved. These women hate themselves. These women have all sorts of issues. And if you don't, and a lot of times the government's not helping you unless you actually have like a, no, sorry, I'm not to say the government's not helping you, but if you have like a lot of people, like for example my mom, who I feel is clearly narcissistic, does not feel like she has a problem. She
Yeah.
does not feel like she has a problem. And I'm looking at this woman and I'm just like, oh my God, you do realize that you're driving me. And I'm telling her that like right now what I'm dealing with thoughts of like, I'm going to, like I said, I'm going to therapy, and you're a professor. You should know that like there's a difference between having a thought and having thoughts about having like actually acting on them.
Yeah.
But I do have thoughts about giving up, but I don't have thoughts about acting on them. But the fact that like I have those thoughts, and if you twist around my reality, I'm very educated when it comes to gaslighting and projecting and all of these defense mechanisms. So if I'm telling you that if you do these things and you twist around my reality, my thoughts will just flood with my thoughts will just flood with negative things, and I will get to that point where I will start thinking about that, and then you
Okay.
keep doing that, and like that just shows me you have a problem. There's something wrong with you. And I'm
Yeah.
looking at my mom, and then I'm just like, a lot of kids. What kid is gonna talk like this about their mom?
Yeah.
I was a child who was so afraid. I was tiptoeing around my mom when I was like 18, shitting in a bag and pissing in a hole in the basement because I was so afraid to go around my mom because of the way she was.
Okay. Well, you
So
know
so
what?
so
You are
so so
definitely
so
you are definitely doing the right thing by making sure that you are in therapy. You're definitely doing the right thing. So kudos to you for having the awareness enough to know that there are some things that you're dealing with that you may not be able to deal with on your own, and the courage to get assistance in dealing with that. So kudos to you. Tell me your name again.
my name's Tracy.
Tracy, kudos to you,
Yeah.
and I applaud you. It's courageous of you to speak up. It's a courageous of you to tell your story. It's courageous of you to get help, and continue to go forward, one foot in front of the other. Continue
Thank
to keep working on it, because as you talk, we hear the pain, and we know that that pain is real. And I'm recording. If you all don't know, on the YouTube has a community tab. And if you're not on my mailing list, join my mailing list. You can get a complimentary Relax MP3. You can get that for free when you go to my website, tonyatko.com. Click on the shop area, and then the Relax MP3 is the first one. You can get that, download that for free. I'm working on an inner child healing MP3. That's the next one to come up. And on the YouTube community tab, you can vote on which cover design you like the best. So that's the one that I'm working on next. All right, it's not out yet, so it will be soon. Tracy, we really appreciate you calling in. Keep your head up. Any last thing you want to say to people?
I just want everyone to remember there is issues with these women. Like as I said, like the hypersexuality, the traits that they have, like the narcissism. Like just to please take those into consideration when you're judging these women, because these women, like my mom is a good woman. She actually tries to help people, but she has there's so much hate, there's so much trauma, and please don't forget about the trauma. Don't be ignorant to that, because you are really sounding ignorant when you just kind of judge these women and just say they're just having kids. And yeah, you're sounding ignorant when you
Yeah.
talk about it. Not you, Tanya,
No, I
but I'm
know.
just saying
I
people
know.
are sounding really ignorant when they're just saying these women are just having bad kids and having the government pay for it and blah blah blah. No, you're sounding ignorant. Yeah. So
All right. Well, thank you so much for calling in. Thank you. Make sure you go to my website and join the mailing list, okay?
okay, thank you, Tanya.
Okay. Okay, so everybody listen, if you're on this broadcast right now, there are 226 people on the broadcast, 157 likes. You can close out the live chat area to like the video. And hold on for just a moment, okay? Hold on. I need you to take your computer and turn the volume down.
Hi, Tanya.
Hi, hold on for just one moment, okay? All right, so everyone who is on right now, make sure that you go to my website and download your complimentary copy of the Relax MP3. It is a hypnotherapeutic MP3. And so that is yours with my compliments for joining the mailing list. And you get that right away today. You can do that today. And then I'll give you the rest of the information after this call. Okay, so you're on the air live.
Hi, Tanya. My name is
Hi.
Stacy, and I'm from North Carolina. How are you?
Hi, Stacy.
I've been listening to your program, and I want to commend you on bringing up this topic.
Thank you.
It's very important conversation, especially in the Black community. Hearing about what Atlanta is trying to do with abortion just brings up a lot of questions to me because, I mean, I don't even want to get into the psychological aspect of it because that goes so deep. But my question is, okay, so you have these women out here who you're taking the option of abortion off the table. So now when they have the children, what is in place to help them? Because you're saying you don't want them to have abortions, which means, okay, we've tried sex education.
Okay, so it's low. So it's going to unfreeze in just a moment. Hold on. I'm gonna try to get the phone line back open. All right. So I don't know if you can. We should be back now. We should be back. All right, so I need somebody to put up the number 5 if you could. Okay, so I'm back. I'm back. Okay, so you all see that I'm back. All right, so as you all know, I live off of the grid. I'm going to try to turn my phone so that, okay, it's still plugged in. Listen, we are on 1% battery, y'all. 1%. So it may go back out again because my phone has gotten to the point that it has to be held just right for it to get a charge. And I had it plugged in all this time, but apparently it was not charging. So listen. I'm going to try to open the phone lines back up, but you all know I live off of the grid, so my cell phone powers the laptop, which powers the phones and powers all of that, right? So let's see if we can get this. Let's see if we can get this phone line back up and running. Okay. All right. So let's see, because I'm pressing the button, but the button is not. It's too green. It's too new. So the phone, we don't have enough power to run we don't have enough power laptop at the same time. So it is charging right now. It is charging. And so the last caller, so caller, get ready to call back in because we lost connection. This is this is this is this is so I'm gonna try again to connect. We are still at 1%, but let's see if we can get just a little bit to come through for us. Okay, let's see if we could